thing you need to know about the G-spot. The G-spot is not a separate and specific part of the anatomy but part of the larger clitoral network. Finding what works for you can take time, and that's okay. Orgasms can help reduce stress, improve your skin, and make you feel, well, great. However, vaginal orgasms, especially those achieved through penetration, can be just as elusive as the mysterious G-spot. It's relatively uncommon for people with a vagina to orgasm through intercourse alone. And according to a 2017 study, only about 18% of women achieve orgasm through penetration alone, meaning no hands, mouth, or toys needed. More often than not, clitoral stimulation is required, or at least beneficial, when it comes to orgasming during sex. However, even if you haven't experienced an orgasm from vaginal penetration, that doesn't mean it's impossible. Some believe the G-spot may be the key to vaginal orgasm during penetration. But some researchers' trusted source believe that vaginal orgasms don't exist, so it can be difficult to separate fact from fiction. You've probably heard of the G-spot, along with how it's the key to achieving an earth-shattering vaginal orgasm. But is it real? Honestly, it's complicated. Known as the Greffenberg spot, the G-spot was introduced by Dr. Beverly Whipple after she discovered that using a come-here motion along the inside of the vagina produced a physical response. She believed this region could be the key to achieving orgasm during penetration. However, it's important to clarify that the G-spot isn't a distinct part of your anatomy. In a 2017 study, researchers attempted to find the G-spot only to come up empty-handed. Instead of being a separate spot in your vagina, the G-spot is part of your clitoral network. This means that when you're stimulating the G-spot, you're stimulating part of the clitoris, which is much larger than we're led to believe. The pea-sized nub where the inner labia meet is only the tip of the clitoris and divides into two roots that can be about 4 inches long. Plus, this region can vary from person to person, which explains why it can often be difficult to locate. However, once stimulated, the G-spot can cause squirting, yes, it's real, and help reach vaginal orgasm. How can you find it? Finding the G-spot can be difficult, especially since it's not actually on any map of the human body. That doesn't mean it's impossible. Instead of searching for it during partnered sexual activity, it's easier to locate the G-spot through self-exploration. If you're looking to find your G-spot, start by relaxing. As you explore your body, do what feels best to you. When you're ready, begin massaging the opening to your vagina before inserting your fingers or a sex toy. Then, using your fingers or a toy, lift upward toward your belly button in a come-hither motion. Remember, you're not trying to hit a specific button but instead finding what feels best for you in that general region. Repeat the motion as the sensation builds, and, instead of an in and out movement, experiment with keeping your attention focused on this internal area. Like other erogenous zones, preferences can vary from person to person. A 2016 review trusted source emphasized that orgasms are not one-size-fits-all, so there's no right or wrong way to orgasm. Not everyone will find satisfaction through G-spot stimulation, and that's fine too. Remember that masturbation is a completely normal and healthy way to feel good in your body. By taking time to explore your preferences, you can also use that information to instruct your partner on what you enjoy most during sex. The best sex positions to stimulate the G-spot. You can experiment with G-spot stimulation with a partner, using fingers, a penis, or a sex toy designed for penetration. Try positions that allow you a little more control over your movements so you can figure out what types of stimulation you enjoy most. While many sex positions can help you achieve this, here are 3 to try. Rider. Some people refer to this as the cowgirl position. Have your partner lay on their back, then climb on top and straddle them. This position allows you complete control over the rhythm, depth, and angle of penetration so you can focus on finding your G-spot. Instead of bobbing up and down, try moving back and forth to stimulate the G-spot region against your inner vaginal wall. Mixing it up can also help, so don't be afraid to experiment with different speeds and angles. Doggy style. Doggy style is another great way to achieve deeper penetration during sex. It's easy to vary the angle to hit your G-spot. Start on your hands and knees with your partner behind you. During penetration, try leaning down on your forearms or pushing your hips backward to change the angle until you find the position that works best for you. If you'd like, you can try a different variation by lying flat on your stomach with your legs hanging off the edge of the bed, allowing your partner to stand behind you and penetrate from there. Closed missionary position. This variation on the classic missionary position allows for greater stimulation without the depth of penetration. You'll start on your back in missionary position before moving your legs together. Then, your partner's legs should straddle yours, allowing a tighter squeeze. While this shallow penetration might not hit as deep, it does create a tighter feeling and more increased friction against your G-spot, which might be the perfect way to help you reach orgasm. Find what works for you. Despite what you might see in movies, sex isn't always quick and easy. Often, we are led to believe that sex is shameful, which can make it harder to achieve orgasm and sexual satisfaction. Don't be afraid to take charge of your sex life and find what you like. If that means you can find your G-spot and rock it, good for you. If not, that's great too. No rule says there's one way to orgasm, and, for most people with internal genitals, it's okay to prefer a combination of efforts. Finding what works for you can take time, so be patient. The most important thing is that you're satisfied. Exploring your body and your sexual preferences is a great step in making sure you have a happy, safe, and pleasurable sex life. You should never feel ashamed of figuring out what you like. After all, everyone deserves to have great sex.